death of George Floyd sparked protests and calls for change. But KPIX 5's Wilson Walker tells us Sacramento lawmakers are running out of time. Wilson?
Ken, here at the Vallejo Police Department, which is at the request of the city being reviewed by the state. Now, other matters like chokeholds and using tear gas on protesters. There are at least more than a dozen bills in Sacramento right now which would pertain to those matters. But as you said, despite widespread momentum on these issues, those bills are not getting very far.
Many people want to go to the extreme of defunding the police department. No, we're not advocating for that because we believe law enforcement is needed.
State Senator Stephen Bradford of Los Angeles County does not want to defund police, but he does want to see reform. So he has authored one of more than a dozen such bills now being considered in Sacramento.
SB 731, which is the police decertification bill. We're one of only 5 states in the nation that doesn't have a decertification process.
But despite the momentum behind such reforms, many of these reform bills are expected to die when the legislative session ends at the end of this month.
Internally, you have police unions that are not necessarily for reform. In some cities, they are totally against it.
Civil rights attorney John Burris says piecemeal reform has too many opponents and too many limitations. He says moving this conversation forward will take something on a larger scale.
Well, I think that would be the most important thing, is develop national standards. But at the same time, policing is local. And so you have to be able to get the national standards to have a buy-in at the local level.
And that is the next hope among reform advocates. The Biden-Harris team has promised to look at things like a national tracking system for police officers, and many think that is the kind of change that will be needed.
I think we do need to look at police reform on a national level. These one-offs in each state, it's useful, but I think not until we make this a national issue, just like this pandemic. We lead the world in police shootings of unarmed civilians. We should want to change that image.
Wow. Yeah, every state is different. Every city has a different idea. Wilson, what else is causing the problem in Sacramento?
Well, think about everything that is on their plate in Sacramento. You had the pandemic, the economic crisis that has come with that, and now the fires over the last couple weeks. So add that to any number of parts of this state that are red counties with lawmakers which might not find themselves too amenable to these ideas. So there are plenty of things standing in the way, and I think over the next couple weeks and months you might hear much more of this as a national discussion.
No question about it. Wilson Walker in Vallejo tonight. Thank you, Wilson.